action.
Hello, Ben and I are laying out our terrace gardens for next year. And you can see here we got a good start on one bed, partial bed, and we're starting on the second level. So I just want to explain how to do this, how we're starting to do it. The tools that you'll need are obviously a shovel and a bunyip. And this is kind of what I was waiting for to start my beds. It's basically a homemade water level, and what you need are, I use the 2x2s. I like 2x2s. Some people use 2x4s, but the 2x2s are smaller, so you can put them in a smaller area. And then you need to basically mark a measuring stick along both 2x2s. And if I were you, I would just either use a chalk line or just keep the measuring tape that you use taped up against the stick, because not all 2x2s are very straight. And then I just, after I put the markings on there, then I just put a 1/2-inch tubing piece zip tied along the whole stick, and then I have a little level on the side just to see if it's straight up and down. And an addition that Ben added was this little nail. I'll pull it out so you can see at the bottom. It's a spike essentially, so that you don't need two people. It's automation. It's a peasant automation. So then you basically just fill the bunyip with water, and then you got to get the bubbles out. You know, for that you can just hold the tube low at a vertical, keep holding it vertical until the bubbles come out the top. So the first thing I did was my friend Andy and we laid out contours with these bamboo sticks. So this is, I think, our no, this wasn't the first contour we did. Actually, right here, and this guy and this guy were all on contour. This was kind of the bottom of the first bed. So what I did, oh yeah, and we actually measured contour here as well. So I actually used this contour. Using this contour, I can see more or less the shape of the land. So you kind of want to, your beds can't be exactly on contour. You're creating the contour, but you want them more or less on contour, so they'll curve around the hillside. So then starting there, I started at my relatively like my highest point on the bed, like here. I dug in and used the bunyip to see, you know, where I dug to see if it's level with the lowest point, which is over here. And then you just go, as you go, you can see how I'm doing this bed right here. As you go, you just put the bunyip along and just keep measuring little by little with the bunyip to make sure you're level. You don't want to get down here and be out of level. And this area here is the path, so I'm just measuring the level on the path. And this area, this 4-foot area, is the bed. So we're just making the paths level, because when water flows down the hill, it's going to come out here and it's going to go in the path, and we want to make sure it sinks in evenly instead of going to one side or the other. And so essentially we just take topsoil from the path and put it on the other side, because on the other side it's lower, so we're building up the other side. And in some areas, you know, you can see that the bed is not even, which is fine, because our next step is to put cardboard down and then compost on top of it. So we not only have a nice amount of topsoil, but we're also going to top it off with compost and then even out the bed, even out the compost on the top of the bed. And then we got to have some sort of retaining wall on the edges. So we're just debating on whether to use stones or like a series of sticks with wood behind them. They, you know, both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. I'm leaning more towards stone. But yeah, eventually, so that'll be holding up the compost. On the one side will be stone or wood, and then on the other side, so for example on this side of the path, there's going to be compost that we're going to be constantly pushing back into the bed. So my idea is to have this as kind of a swale area. You know, we'll wait to see when it rains how the water's flowing, get this pretty even, make it more swale-like, then fill it in with either pea gravel or mulch or something where the water will sink in, but we can still walk on top of it, and it'll hold the compost in. So it'll be at the level of the compost. So it'll be a filled-in swale. So yeah, we're making progress, and we hope to finish like 5 beds before the ground freezes. That's it.